Ooh, take a look at this. This guy wants to smoke marijuana. He wants to smoke marijuana, but he can't because it's illegal in his country. It's illegal. Well, he can just come to Canada. He can come to Canada because now it's legal in Canada. Today, cannabis or marijuana, right? Cannabis and marijuana mean the same thing. It became legal in Canada today. Okay, Justin Trudeau, our Prime Minister, made cannabis legal in Canada. Can you believe that? I remember 5 years ago when he was running to be Canada's next Prime Minister, he said, when I become Prime Minister, I will legalize marijuana. I will legalize marijuana. That was one of his campaign promises. That was one of his campaign promises. Most of the time, politicians promise other things, right? They promise things like, I'm going to balance the budget. I'm going to balance the budget. I'm going to lower taxes. I'm going to improve healthcare. I'm going to invest in education. I'm going to grow the economy. Okay, most of the time, politicians promise these things, but Trudeau promised to legalize pot. Pot is another word for marijuana. Wow, have you ever heard a politician make that campaign promise? I've never heard that before. Now, I want to take a poll. I want to take a survey of you, my friends here at Mad English TV. Okay, I'll put the poll right up here. So click right here and answer this question. Do you think this is good, bad, or are you indifferent? Okay, so does this decision that Canada has legalized marijuana, does that make you happy? Or does that make you upset? Or are you indifferent? Indifferent means you don't really care. It doesn't matter to you. Okay, so I'll put that right up here. Now it's anonymous. It's an anonymous poll. Anonymous means nobody knows what your answer is. Nobody can find out. Even me, I won't know. I just see the numbers. Okay, I'm curious. I'm curious to know what you think of this decision that has happened in Canada. Okay, it's a very interesting thing. Canada is only the second country in the whole world to have legal marijuana. Uruguay is the other country in South America, right? I was actually surprised when I looked that up because in the Netherlands, Holland, Amsterdam, I thought it was legal there because everybody always talks about Amsterdam as being, the cannabis capital of the world. Everybody goes to the Netherlands to smoke pot. So I thought it was legal there, but it's actually not. Canada is only the second country in the world to have legal cannabis. So I want to know your opinion. That would be very interesting to me. Now, I want to tell you something about me. I have never done drugs in my whole life. I've never done drugs. This sentence means I have never used drugs. I've never used. Sometimes English learners get confused about the word do. The word do. It can be a bit confusing, right? For example, the sentence, I don't do porn. I don't do porn. What does this mean? You might be thinking, I don't make porn. I don't make porn. No, that's not what this sentence means. This sentence means I don't watch porn or I don't look at porn. If you hear someone say, I don't do porn, I don't do porn, they're saying I don't watch porn. I don't consume porn, right? That's what it means. So this word can be a little bit confusing for a lot of English learners. Sometimes native English speakers use less precise vocabulary than English learners. They use less precise. Like you might use the word use. I don't use drugs, or I don't watch porn. It's good to be precise. It's very good to be precise. But a lot of, native English speakers, it's just sort of, maybe if you want to be more natural in your English, you have to be a little bit more lazy sometimes. Sometimes native English speakers are really lazy. Like with the word do, we use the word do in so many situations in English. And in most of those situations, we could probably use a more precise word. But we don't. Because most of the time, native English speakers are just a little bit lazy. We just pick the easiest word. So sometimes one word can have so many different meanings, and that can be confusing for you as an English learner. Now, maybe in the future, I'll make a lesson just on the word do, because it's an important word. But in this lesson, I just wanted to teach you about marijuana and tell you that it is legal now in Canada as of today. Okay, now I just want to remind you, here are some other words: cannabis, weed, and pot. Those are probably the most common words for marijuana, but there are hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of words to talk about marijuana. But these are the three. They all mean the same thing: marijuana, cannabis, weed, and pot. So if you come to Canada today, or if you are in Canada right now, you will probably hear these words a lot today and maybe this week, this month, because this is very big news, right? For all of Canada's history, it was illegal, and today it is legal. So it's pretty big news. Even on BBC News, it's the top story on BBC News. It's like marijuana becomes legal in Canada. Wow, it's very interesting. So I want to ask you, if you could change one law in your country, what would it be? If you had the power to change one law in your country, what would it be? And make sure you answer that poll up here to see if you support the decision, or if you are against the decision, or if you are indifferent, because I'm curious to know what you think. All right, let me know your answer to this question down there in the comments, and I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.